Hello everyone. Welcome to day 16 of our Prelims series. I am JATIN, and today we will be discussing about something which is very important in any examination, and specifically UPSC Prelims examination, is how to attempt the paper. You may learn many things, you may have the strategy, you may have the plan, but what is important is execution. Execution of your plan and strategy is very important. That's why how you will be going to attempt the prelims examination on the final day becomes very important part, and that should be need to be told and discussed so that you have that comfort zone. You do not panic at the end in the examination center. First thing is, whatever strategy you have made, whatever you have tried and tested, should be executed in the same manner. Just little bit of modification should be done, but you should not change your strategy completely on the final day. You should trust the process, trust the mock test which you have given, trust your application of mind through which you have developed your own innovative strategy. Attempting strategy of each and every topper is different. You should study. You should study your strengths and weakness, then develop your own strategy, and according to it, strategize your own plan, and then try to execute it. First, hit and trial method in mock test series and UPSC PYQs, and then the final execution on the D day. So let's have step-by-step process how you should think and how you should attempt UPSC UPSC examination on the examination hall. Ideally, how many number of questions should be attempted? That's a broad subjective criteria. There is no any fixed ideal number of questions to be attempted. People attempt 100 questions, then get selected. People attempt 65 to 70 questions, they even get selected. The main thing is what works for you. But in general scenario, I would suggest attempting more than 85 questions should be a basic approximate idea so that you can maximize your score, because ultimately it's a game of a skill along with your probability. That means the higher chances of your getting the selection in the prelims depends on how effectively you have eliminated the options and chosen the correct one. So that is important. So in the round one, you should approach should be strategic and not random. You should not attempt random questions and randomly. You should follow a planned strategy. Accordingly, you should work upon. For example, it's not about how many questions did you attempt. It's about what you attempt, in what order you attempt, and with how much accuracy you attempt. So accuracy is important. So that is why you need to focus on the accuracy part and your smart guesswork. Smart guesswork leads to elimination strategy, and from there you can increase your attempts and your probability of getting the answer correct. In the first round, you should attempt short questions. What I mean by short questions are in which you are 100% sure that this is the answer. That perfection and that surety should be there. Secondly, the areas which are you are very strong and confident of. For example, I was very confident in my polity section. So whenever the polity questions come, I used to attempt majority of them in the first attempt only, first round only. Because when you attempt your core area, your strengthen area, it enhances your confidence, it boosts your confidence, and confidence is the key for this examination. If you're confident enough in the starting 15 to 20 25 minutes, then you can carry that momentum till the question number 100, and you can clear the exam with ease, with comfort. But if you have panic, if you have stress, if you have anxiety, by seeing the difficult questions, by seeing the unorthodox pattern of the UPSC examination, then even the silly questions, you will commit silly mistakes and you will be getting out of the race slowly and gradually. So that is why that confidence, initial confidence is important. So you should attempt short questions. You should attempt what the questions are a strong area. And finally, I would say in the first round, around 45 to 50 minutes you should be giving so that you can glance through the whole question paper. How many questions are there? What type of questions are there? You have a rough idea. You can attempt your short questions and a main area question. Accordingly, you will be able to get approximately 20, 25 to 30 questions maximum, not more than that. That is the ideal way to finish round one. Now come to round two. Round two, you should be more strategically aware, more sound of your application will be used here. That means you will be need to eliminate the options. Majority of the questions here would be 50-50, where you have dilemma. So You should eliminate, you should implement the elimination techniques which we have discussed earlier. You should apply a knowledge of PYQs, and you should give due time on these type of questions. In these questions, elimination or the basic elimination could have been done in the first round itself. For example, extreme statements, data in facts, or points should be highlighted where your extra thinking or your logic reasoning should be applied, so that in round two you don't spend too much time. The initial amount of time should be spent in round one only to glance through the questions and to glance through the options, so you can have the basic idea which options are correct, which options are incorrect. So that filtering should be done at level one, that is round one. Round two, you should apply your mind, think, apply elimination, and then come to conclusion what you should attempt or what you should mark the answer. So that is how round two should be done. Around 40-45 minutes, 55 minutes should be given to round two. Approximately 1.5 hours should be given for round one and round two. And after round two, your approximate question of attempt should be around 80. Around 75 to 80 questions should have been attempted by the end of round two. Now, the last 20 minutes, you should go for round three. For round three, it should be very, very cautious, because here, one thing you need to be taken care of, that you do not over attempt the questions and you do not under attempt the questions. The set questions and the framework of number of attempts of the questions which you have thought of should be applied here. It should be in the range of 85 to 90. So you have to take the calculated risk in how many questions, in what many questions you can take the risk, what logic can be applied, what you can infer from the difficulty level of the paper, what you can infer from the various questions and options framed in the examination paper, and what inference you can draw from the PYQs and the ideology of the UPSC. In here, 5 to 10 questions, the ideology factor comes in, and this round three can play a make or a break role in your prelims examination result, because your patience, your calmness, your awareness, and your application of mind in the last 20-25 minutes or half an hour becomes very, very crucial. If you are being able to calm your mind, apply your mind, have common sense, have gut feeling, have all those elimination tricks, have all the ideology of the UPSC, and you are able to apply them at that point, trust me, if you are able to get 50% of the questions correct of the round three which you attempt, it will boost your score and may help you to clear the cutoff. So round three becomes very, very important. But remember, don't over attempt and don't under attempt. Never blindly attempt any questions until unless you are very sure of the elimination tricks, or you have made sure that you will attempt 95 to 100 questions. Then only blind attempting should be done. Otherwise, it should be avoided. Accuracy matters more than the number of attempts. So you should have a balanced strategy rather than going full throttle. A balanced approach is always better. Now the next thing comes sequence of questions approaching. Either you should approach sectional wise. See, every year UPSC doesn't give section wise paper officially, but if you see the pattern, unofficially there are questions of the same subject in a continuous way. So if you are comfortable, identify those area and follow the sequence of that subject wise. Otherwise, the ideal and the good strategy should to go question wise, go round wise. Finding difficult questions, leave it at the once. Definitely in the middle of the paper, you will be encountering the subject wise questions which you are familiar with, which are strengths and core areas. Then attempt those questions. Otherwise, the essential 2 or 4 or 5 minutes would be gone in just searching of the sectional portion of the subject. So you should avoid those time and utilize that time effectively. So use your instinct and gut feeling and follow the paper sequence wise. The next thing is OMR filling. Please, please, please do not make OMR bubbling mistake. It can cost you your whole 1 year. Be sincere, be aware, and be optimistic. Be cautious. Don't hesitate. Don't be in panic and stress and make blunders. You will not get any extra OMR. Even applying whitener will not correct your mistake. Okay. If you marked your answer incorrect, knowing it to be correct, then it's the biggest blunder you can afford on the prelims examination. So please avoid it. Cross-check each and every time you see the option while marking in the OMR. And what is the ideal strategy? What I used to do is, after each round, I filled the OMR. After round one, when I am sure of 100% correct, I filled the OMR sheet of those questions. After round two, I filled, and the round three, I filled simultaneously. When I solved one question, On the same time, I mark the option. I don't overthink in round 3 because sometimes, as I said in the mistakes, overthinking and changing the options frequently can cause you your attempt and you tend to mark incorrect option. That is very important. You need to be cautious that you are not overthinking and overchanging the options. That is why in round 3, I mark the question simultaneously. Next, mental setup in the examination hall. Your mental setup should be very confident and calm and composed. You should be sure that you will be able to tackle each and everything, each and every difficulty which will be thrown by the UPSC paper. Your mind should be ready for it. Your mind should treat itself as a PYQ. Your mind should treat itself as a yes, you have solved the questions of UPSC. You have the ideology and crux of the ideology and question framing strategy of the UPSC. You should have the idea and neck of it. Then you will be very confident, and that confidence will help you and assist you to face the challenge or the battle of the UPSC prelims examination. And then before CSET, after completing GS1, do not discuss it with your any friends. Do not discuss among your peers. Do not look for the crash course answer keys which are given by various institutes on the just few hours or few minutes after the paper. Don't be in a hurry for them. Be patient. Take a relax. You have given the paper one. Have food. Have energy. Re-energize yourself, and then complete shift your focus to CSET GS2. Avoiding CSET is the biggest blunder people make, and many aspirants fail just because not of the practice and knowledge of CSET, just because of not being aware of the correct mindset to appear in the CSET. So please prepare your mind to be active for next 2 hours. Don't overthink or pre-think about GS1. It has been gone. It has been accomplished. Just focus for the next 2 hours in CSET. After that, there is a whole 10-15 days cycle you can ponder and think upon for the GS1. But don't overthink in the time. So final golden rules are: trust your preparation. You have done the hard work. Don't panic in tough questions. Tough questions are tough for everybody. Apply your mind, apply your logics, apply the elimination. If you're able to solve it, good. Otherwise, leave it. Don't be greedy with attempts. Don't do over attempting just because someone has said you have to attempt more number of questions. Have a balanced approach. You should know what is your right thing, right call, and where you should stop over attempting. That idea should be there in your mind. Don't have that inertia of attempting too many questions. Back yourself. Prelims is a pressure test, and you can use it. You can channelize your energy to evacuate and overcome the pressure. That is the test what prelims test us, what UPSC test us in this examination. In the exam hall, you need to act like a pilot, calm, trained, and focused. You should be calm. You should be trained. By training, I mean you should be aware of the PYQs, and you should be composed, and you should be able to take the risk. Risk management factor is very, very important. With the right attempt strategy, you just don't give prelims, you crack it. So I wish you all the very best. Said all of you should crack the prelims examination. All the best. Jai Hind.